Hi, it's me, Debbie again, and yes, I promised to get my picture in their way. I just wanted to show you all a very important part of your machine, your Bailey home quilter, that does need to be oiled and maintained at least once a year. If you are using your Bailey for business, then you need to probably do this at least a couple times a year. According to Chuck, this is the most important place you should be oiling and making sure is clean. You'll notice we're at the back of the machine. We have this little metal cover here. Now, I've already loosened mine, but as soon as you go to unloosen this screw, and please make sure you use the right size screwdriver, because if you use one that's a little bit too small, you're going to strip out that screw head and then you're going to be in trouble. So the right size, and this is a pretty good size one, will take it out without any issues. And it is kind of tight the first time you take it out. So we're going to take off these two screws, which will remove this plate. Sorry, my hands are in the way. It's the only way I can get that. So now the plate's out, and I've been oiling mine, so I'm going to put the screws and that nut back down here. Now, according to Chuck, and I hope you can all see this well, this area right here, let me move in a little closer, right here in front of this gear is a shaft, and that shaft is the most important part of keeping this oiled so that your machine will run good. If your machine starts having issues, that's probably where the issues are going to be, because the other side is the bobbin assembly. So, like I did accidentally on my first machine, I was using canned air, and all that was doing was blowing stuff back into this area. Big mistake. Don't use canned air. But this area isn't. You can kind of get to it over the top of the cover. I noticed that. Well, I'll have a heck of a time figuring out how to put it back on there, but no, just like that. There is a little space you can see down inside of it, and you could, if you used the Zoom spout oil, you could get it in there. All you're going to do is take your oil, whichever it is. Let me move this over just a little, sorry, so you can see it from the side. Okay, and Chuck said 1 drop is all you need. So right in front of that gear, 1 drop of oil. That's it. Now, the next spot is going to be, I'm going to move you again, so sorry, don't get seasick. Okay. In the front of the race assembly, sorry, it's kind of hard to see right now. There's kind of a button right in the middle, and behind that button is the other half of that shaft. So the shaft is what we're oiling. So you're going to put 1 drop there. Try and get it as far behind that button as you can. So now both sides have been oiled. Now I'm going to put this down here because I've already oiled this and I don't want to make a bigger mess than I already did. Chuck recommends after you do that, especially if you're starting to have little issues, or if you haven't done this yet, and your machine is several months old or several years, he said just turn it on low, no needle, no thread, obviously, and just let it run for a couple minutes, long enough to get all that oil inside onto the gears. Now I'm only going to run it for a second because I've already run mine, and it'll probably be really noisy on the camera. Okay, so basically that's all you're going to do. Just leave it run. He said to leave it on slow. This is as slow as my machine's going to stitch, so just leave it until it all gets in there nice and oiled. Now, I know for other people you really are concerned about where you should be oiling this machine. Now, obviously, because I had my lollipop on here, I had to remove that to get to that. And when I did, that really opened up this whole shaft area. So at that time, there's another little spot back here. You can see where metal is touching metal, or where you should probably put a drop of oil. No, not a big thing. Don't put tons and tons of oil. 1 drop will do. The other places that people like to oil are up behind here. I'm not going to take this all apart at this point in time. You can pretty well, I'm going to move you again, so sorry. You can pretty well, maybe too much light for you. You can pretty well tell. I'm going to come down here and then you can see my gorgeous little face. Hi. I'm going to shut the light off. And so hopefully you can see. These areas up in here where there's metal on metal, and you can tell that the shaft is running up and down, those are going to be the areas that you're going to want to put a little oil. Just a drop. Not, like I said, don't go crazy with the oil. So for me, that shaft is the biggest area. And I'm just going to put a little bit here. It's a pretty low maintenance machine, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Same thing, let it run for a second. Whoops, except for, of course, I just shut it off. That wasn't very smart. But once you're done with that, that's your maintenance. Let it run. And then you can just put this all back together. And everything should be fine for, 6, 8, 9 months, maybe every year. Make this your annual thing. You will be able to tell if you're having trouble in that bobbin area. It will start making more noise, and you probably need to clean it with every single bobbin change. Clean, put a little tiny bit of oil in there. I know it seems excessive, but believe me, it's just what you need to do to keep this thing running tip-top. So, I hope it helped. If you have any suggestions, please just post away and let me know. Thanks. I'll be back. Bye.